You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
What a beautiful day for horses in the morning.
You are listening to the number one horse podcast in the world. Here is your entertaining look at the horse world and the people in it.
Well, good Monday morning, everybody. I am Glenn the Geek in Ocala, Florida.
And I'm Jamie Jennings, and I'm back in Norman, Oklahoma. You're listening to Horses in the Morning on the Horse Radio Network for Monday, January 8th, episode 3338 by WERM Flooring today. So good morning, horse people.
I have good news and bad news for you on this Monday morning. First, the bad. It's Monday. But the good news is really good. Jamie and Glenn are here to guide you through another week filled with horse talk and a whole lot of fun. Welcome to Horses in the Morning.
Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us this morning. Hey, Jamie, you're back home again.
I am. Yeah, I had one of those days on, it was Saturday, and my flight was at 5 a.m.
Oh.
So I had to be to the airport by 3:30. So that was super fun.
And you were flying out of Gainesville? Were you at
I flew out of Jacksonville to Dallas and Dallas home. I was home by 9:30 in the morning. And the whole day was so weird. I was like, where am I? Like, was that today? It was just this weird, when you do a flight that early and then you're home in the morning, it was very confusing to my brain.
It's like two different days, isn't it?
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, I'm like, why is this the longest day ever? It just won't end. Because it started at 2:30. Got it.
Well, you, after the show we did here together in the studio on Wednesday, we went out to visit the ponies, Nigel and Scooter, and it just was so weird. I've had Scooter for 9 years maybe? And it was just so weird that we've talked about this horse a million times.
I know.
And you had never met Scooter, but you got to meet Scooter.
I finally did. He's very talented at selfies. He's trained him well.
He loves the camera. And what did I say? He loves pretty girls. He loved you. He's just that.
Oh my God. He's the cutest thing I've ever seen. He looks like a full grown foal. You know,
everybody says he doesn't look like a pony. He looks like a horse. And he does, with his face and everything. He looks like a horse. What was that?
I thought he looked like
He's 17 years old.
What? That's crazy.
Oh, wow. He's 17. I didn't realize he was that old.
Oh, did that hurt your heart a little bit?
Yes, it does. He's 17. Oh, my God.
Now, in Pony World, that's only 1/3 of the way through his life. So
we've had some that have lived to 40. So. So you got to meet Scooter and Nigel. You got to meet them both.
Yes, and I do have comments to make about them later on in the show.
Okay, all right, good. And we also went over to the World Equestrian Center. So you finally, after all this time of talking about that, got to see that too. I don't know. I always say that no matter how we describe it or how many pictures you look at, you can't appreciate it till you get there. Was that true?
Yeah, I would like to. So I'm walking around the World Equestrian Center with you and Jen. And you're like, I'm going to show you all the awesome things. And we got to watch some kind of really almost 1.5 meter jumping. And it was going on in the big arena. It was beautiful. And then we got some really good food. And then you're like, I'm going to show you around. Glenn, let me just tell you from now on, when people come to visit the World Equestrian Center, nobody cares about the lobby and the hotel. We want to see the barns and the indoors.
I didn't realize we were going to be cut to 10 minutes on our tour. That should have taken about 3 hours.
I wasn't supposed to actually not be with my mom, so it was like, I was like, I've been gone half a day. I need to get back.
Spend a whole day there. I mean, we went into one store. There's 25. It's like.
It's like inside it is like a little mini Vegas. When you walk around Vegas, you're like, I don't even know what day it is because I don't see the sun. It was just like this. Really, it was like a time suck. You walk around. So it was beautiful.
And you saw
really
maybe
cool.
a fifth of it. Or 5% of it even,
Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, it looked amazing and incredible. And what I took away was that one woman who rode, I was like, I want to get to the point with a horse that this lady is riding up on the buckle, staring at her cell phone, walking in between buildings and under porticos and all this. And she is riding a horse that had to be 18.3. I mean, he was the biggest dang thing I'd ever seen. And I had an 18-hand horse here, and this horse was bigger than that. And I'm like, that's my equestrian life goal, is to walk around a place like this on the buckle staring at my phone. My horse is that trained
And
where just nothing bothers
I
him.
don't know if you noticed, but 99% of the people walking their horses to get from one place to another were staring at their phones.
It's crazy. I'm like, I need more trained horses. I need more money to buy horses like that.
Well, coming up on today's show, unfortunately, we had a
I
guest.
buy ones that I have the cell phone in my thigh pocket, and I'm like, I better take this out so I don't break it when I fall.
Yeah, these kids are always on their phone when they're walking around there.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
If you watch, you didn't get to do this, but you go out and watch a warm-up ring, and they'll do a couple, warm-up jumps, and then they're along the fence on their texting people, and then they put it back in their pocket, go do a couple more jumps, and then get back to the fence on their phone.
It's so interesting to me how that, if you go back and listen to Tad Coffin, he talks about like how the phone emits these things that we might not feel, but horses do. And he talks about like maybe always putting it, away from your horse when you're riding and stuff. And I'm like, these people are toasting their horses' brains.
And they don't care.
And they don't care.
No. All right, coming up on today's show, we had a guest book, but the guest has COVID. We've been having a run of luck here with guests. So it's just Jamie and I today. I have a bunch of random news stuff I want to talk to you about. I also have a brand new health scoring system for your horse that you can do. You can play along at home and take the test for your horse as well. I had Jennifer do it for Scooter because I'm not very good at those things. And we'll find out what Scooter's health score was. And we also have a bunch of other stuff we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk a little bit about dogs. We have some equestrian first world problems. I have a survey show. So we have a lot coming up on today's show, but it's just us, which is appropriate because we haven't done a whole lot of shows together in the last couple of weeks. So here we go. We'll start with Daily Winnies. I have two auditor birthdays today, and they've both been long time listeners, Rachel Rosenthal and Andrew Vernatter. Happy birthday to both of you. And I have to give a thank you. So we got this box in, I don't know, it was the beginning of December maybe, and we thought it was a Christmas box. So we held it for Christmas and didn't open it. And it turns out it probably wasn't a Christmas box, but when I finally did open it, we have our auditor by the name of Tom, who lives up there in Michigan, who I met in person when we were on our touring, and he sends us fun stuff occasionally. Well, I don't know if you were on the episode where I talked about the fact that Jennifer and I had, this is a long time ago, had interviewed for a job running a hotel in Traverse City, Michigan. And
what?
Yeah, it's way up there. I mean, it's way up there in Michigan. And we determined too much snow. We're not going to do that job. And he heard that, and he sent us a bottle of Traverse City bourbon. So I have this bottle in my hands of Traverse City Whiskey Company, aged in new American oak barrels for 4 years or more, straight bourbon whiskey. It's 86 proof, so I'm not going to be drinking a whole lot of it.
I don't think that you can mix that comfortably with things that include strawberry daiquiris.
No,
Just
this
throw
is
that out there.
But I did get some sour mix, so we're going to be giving this a try. Now, if I mix this with sour mix, your husband's going to roll over and be really mad at me because he drinks his bourbon straight up, right?
Yeah. The next Daily Winnie, I'll tell you what to do with that.
Okay, all right, good. I'll maybe ship it out to him. It is his birthday, right? His birthday.
I need the happy birthday sound.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Oh, stick that bourbon in the mail. You know my address. Go ahead and mail it on out because he'll actually drink it.
Well, I don't know if he's ever had Traverse City Whiskey Company, so
I'm sure he hasn't, but he would be more than happy to try it. Yes, happy birthday to my dear sweet husband. He it's a big one.
he's 62.
It's a good one.
70?
He's not 60.
No.
No, no, it's the big 50 and
Really?
happy birthday. Yeah. I mean, I met him when he was 33. So yeah. Oh my God, my back hurts thinking about it. Good Lord.
God, we've been doing this show a long time.
I know. It's crazy.
He's really 50?
Yeah, he's
God,
50
I still
today.
think about him like early 40s.
Oh, I'm sorry. Should I not have said that on the show, babe? He was sitting right back here. I just got a pinch.
Well, he has had 2 full careers. I mean, he should be 50, right?
I mean, you're retired from one career. Like, come
Started
on.
another. Well, happy birthday, Chad.
Happy birthday, Chad, Glenn says.
All right. Well, that's terrific.
He just grunted, kind of more growled. It's fine.
Well, every year in Wellington, of course, we're in Wellington full time. The shows are going on, dressage shows, jumping shows, polo, all the things are going on in Wellington right now. And at the first Saturday Night Lights they do in Wellington every year, they start off with the Battle of the Sexes. It's a $75,000 Battle of the Sexes. And I remember reporting it. We've probably been reporting on this since we started the show. And usually it's the women that win, but that's not true this year. The men won. The men won the Battle of the Sexes this year.
Yay.
This is the 4th. Well, don't get too upset. This is only the 4th time they've won in 14 years. So, but they have won 2 times in a row now. So this is their 2nd win in the Battle of the Sexes. And congratulations to the men. Yay. You can't win every year.
Yes, we can. I'm disappointed.
Also, this year is Olympic year, so all the preparations are happening over in Paris. This is the first time the Olympics have been held in Paris in 100 years. So Paris is gearing up and getting ready, and there have been qualifications going on now for 18 months. A lot of most of the team, or all the teams right now, I think, are decided. Now it's the individual places that are up for grabs. So some teams qualify to send teams is how it works. And then countries get a certain number of allotments for individuals that they can send that don't count toward the team qualifications or the team scoring, but they can qualify individually. So those are up for grabs now. Those have not been decided. But I just want to go through here real quick. I'm not going to read them all, but just to give you an idea of our most listened to countries that listen to this show the most. We'll go through those. In jumping, Sweden, Great Britain, Ireland, USA, Canada, and Australia, and a bunch of other countries have qualified for teams. Dressage, Great Britain, Sweden, Canada, Australia, and the United States. And then in eventing, the United States, New Zealand, Great Britain, Ireland, Sweden, Canada, and Australia. So pretty much the listening audience of this show, their countries have qualified for most of these. And Paradressage, USA, Great Britain, and Sweden, along with many others, have qualified. So there's 18 individual qualification places also for Para. We'll do pretty well in Para this year. Our team is very good right now. So it's a couple of months away, actually, not too far. But guess who's going to be one of the announcers again this year?
You?
Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg. Do you remember?
Him and Kevin Hart.
Yes. And remember them commenting on dressage? It was hilarious. Well, they got him back again. NBC's hired him back to do commentary. So, yeah, Snoop Dogg's back to the Olympics.
That was the most popular part of the Olympics last year, I think, was them commenting on the dressage horse, where they were saying he was crip walking and like started going sideways. They're like, oh!
Yes, and if NBC wouldn't sue me, I'd play it right now. But so yeah, so Snoop Dogg's back. I don't know if Kevin Hart didn't mention Kevin Hart, so I know Snoop Dogg's back anyway.
That's awesome.
Let's talk about WERM flooring. You know, it's a constant struggle with heavy rubber mats. You know, as a matter of fact, we're trying to get an appointment to get our floor done. Jennifer pulled up the mats the other day, and we were looking under the mats, and you know, we haven't cleaned it since we got the trailer a year ago.
I thought you had done that already. We're already on the way to getting the WERM flooring.
Well, we are, but we didn't get the appointment's not confirmed yet. So apparently they're busy. So we're going to get that done because I don't want to pull up the mats and clean underneath the mats anymore on the aluminum floor. And
Man, I'll tell you something right now. It has been raining sideways for the last 24 hours and it is still raining. And this is the time where like water gets into your trailer just through like if you leave a door open or if they're not completely sealed or if there's a big hole in the roof from a hailstorm. I don't know what that would happen. But if you have any of that, I don't worry about the water anymore getting underneath the mats because I have the WERM floor. Again, I got the WERM floor and then approached them about advertising. I didn't get it. I like sought it out and wanted
No, she
it, and
paid
they
for this
wanted
puppy.
to join.
This wasn't a freebie.
I did. So ditch the mats, upgrade to the WERM flooring system. You don't have to mess with the heavy mats anymore. They just handle all of it. It's awesome.
Now, one of the things it says here is it actually helps with cushioning. It reduces shock and fatigue. Is that when you walk on it? Can you tell?
It's not like it's squishy, like a squishy mat, but it's like more squishy than just a hard rubber mat. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's not like you're like, oh, I could lay down and sleep on here. Like I'm gonna no, it's not like that. But
Because it's a little
definitely,
textured, right?
It is a little textured. Basically, they look like little rubber rocks, and they pour them into. This is not science right here. They pour it in, like trowel it onto your floor and cover, and it went all the way up, kind of like to the ends of the trailer, and then up the wall. Just
I was going to ask you about that because that was my one concern, is that it would get in the edges.
Yeah, no, they it's like they know what they're doing. It's weird.
And one of the things it says here about being quieter, and I didn't think about that because you do get some noise from the road, right? So
yeah.
That's really cool. Well, by the way, WERM flooring is WERM. That's We Eliminate Rubber Mats. You can go to wormflooring.com to find a dealer near you. And there are dealers all over the country, isn't it? So definitely check that out. Well, one of the places I was with Reese last year was for the Services for Phil. And one of the places we were was in Guelph, Canada, where the college is. And of course, that's a big equine college up there. And that's where Phil basically lived. And that we got to spend some time there. And they come out with some really cool stuff. They're a very active college for the equine world. And they came out with a new body conditioning scoring tool by Equine Guelph. And I got to tell you what, I had Jennifer, it looked kind of cool, although I can't answer the healthy questions about my horse because that's Jennifer's job. So I had her take this for Scooter. And I'll have you know that Scooter's looking pretty good. He's in the go category right now. Now, it does say moderately fleshy in his results. Mm-hmm. I think Scooter would be proud of that, actually, that he was moderately fleshy.
Okay, so you did this whole thing on this. Like, how does the scoring work? I can't see the
Well,
thing.
you fill it out, and it goes by top line. There's like 5 or 6 different spots that you score on your horse. And then it comes back with the results. And there's 3 categories you can get. Intervention likely not required. And then that's green. And then yellow, it's like a stoplight. And then yellow is considered consulting a vet or nutritionist. And then red is contact the vet nutritionist for advice immediately. So you get one of those 3 scores on your horse. But I'm going to put the link in the show notes so you guys can go do this for your horse and see where your horse falls.
I was thinking you were going to let us play along right now because most people are in their barn listening to this.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard to do this the way they have it set up. You almost have to do it with your horse, and it would be better to do it with your horse while you were in the barn, actually.
So some of the places that it says you have to check is along the neck, along the withers, the tail head, the loin, the crease down the back, the ribs, and then behind the shoulder or elbow. I've never noticed fat elbows on a horse, but cool.
You should do it for one of your horses, too. Maybe, which one is the super fat one you have?
He's not super fat. He's just representing his breed.
Which one was it? It was
Miles, my Andalusian.
Oh, yeah. You got to do that for Miles, and we'll talk about it on Wednesday and see what score he gets.
We'll see.
Will Miles be in the caution category or the stop, run to the vet category?
Okay, so if your pony is in the caution, is in the go category, intervention likely not required. I would imagine that Miles is going to be in the caution consult vet nutritionist, but he wears a muzzle. I can't muzzle him with the hay net that's on and then a muzzle. That doesn't seem fair. So he already has a hay net on his hay. So he's doing okay. However, there is one horse that needs the stop, contact vet and nutritionist for advice. Okay. One really needs to see the doctor immediately. And that is your wife's horse. Jesus, that I was like, I'm sorry. Have you been making fun of Scooter and Glenn for this time? I'm like, somebody needs to look in the mirror. Like, Nigel is not small. He's not small. not small.
Oh, she thinks he's perfect, so I can't say anything. I get in trouble.
Well, let me tell you right now.
She's commenting from the other room.
Jennifer. He's a thoroughbred. You're not supposed to be able to not feel ribs on a thoroughbred. I was like, oh my God. Like, what is.
I mean, he's big boned anyway. But
yeah,
big.
sure he is. He's big boned. Like, I'm pretty sure this is a fat pad on his rump. But like, what? And I'm like, oh, can I feel ribs? No.
I'm just happy that it's not Scooter and I getting picked on for a change about this.
I mean, I really think that Jen doing your horse's body conditioning score, she needs to maybe do hers.
Maybe next time I'm out there, I'll do Scooters and see if I come up with the same result. One of the other things, random things that came up and that Jennifer found and sent it over to me, they did this study on horse kicks, and this was back feet kicks. And
this is really nerdy, by the way.
Yeah,
this
but I'm not going to get into that. It was one sentence that I'm not going to get into the nerdy because I don't think I understood it. But they did, when you do force, you take a look at Newton's. I don't care about all that. This last sentence is what I found interesting. There was no statistical difference between a provoked and an unprovoked kick.
So wait, they measured the force of a horse's kick.
Yes, and what they did is they measured, okay, we piss off the horse and it tries to kick something, right? Or it just kicks out when it has a fly or something, just a random kick. There was no difference between the two. And that's why you can get hurt as bad with either one. Which I thought was interesting. You would think that the I'm pissed off, I'm kicking is going to be different than the, I'm just kicked out for whatever reason, is going to be different, but they determined that it wasn't. So that's why we get hurt.
Yeah, I have an issue with one of the horses in my barn. Bless his heart, little Maverick, my little 14 two-hand quarter horse that is kind of the mini Duke. He just kicks the dang walls in the stall, like just kicks a wall, and there's nothing, like I'm not feeding. It's like an into pressure thing where he just whacks the wall. So yesterday I did put the kicking rings on him for the first time, and it did stop yesterday. But oh my gosh, like this is, I just don't understand. And I've had a horse that kicked the wall because a stallion was put next to her, and she broke her coffin bone kicking the wall so hard. So I'm like paranoid that he's going to break his coffin bone, and he's kicking for no reason, and he kicks the bejesus out of it. So I believe this study saying, because he's not mad, he just kicks the wall.
Just don't be in the way. Whatever they kick, don't be in the way. But this is why we break bones right here. Oh, anyway, I just found that interesting that it was the same, because you wouldn't think it would be exactly the same. But you have a personal experience, so you're believing it. Yeah.
It is crazy.
It's one
crazy.
study we can believe right there.
And here's a study that you may or may not believe. I found this, and I feel like they might have just interviewed a small section of people, maybe at a dog agility show for this, but it is the most popular breeds of dogs by state.
Oh, really? Okay.
By state. In Alabama, what is the most popular breed of dog?
Can I guess? Pitbull.
You're not going to get, I mean, this is, like I said, I feel like they interviewed a cross section of people who have the same breed. So Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Georgia, Indiana, Missouri, Montana, and let's see, Virginia, all had the same dog breed. That was the most popular. They're very
diverse, different states.
Yeah. I mean, from Alaska to Georgia, like it's crazy. And that was the Australian Shepherd.
Well, I can believe that in Alaska, but not Georgia or Alabama.
I don't know. And then California, guess the most popular dog in California. Right? You would think so.
That's right.
But they have the Bernese Mountain Dog.
What?
Yeah. Nobody has those in California. Let's see, Colorado.
This is a bogus study.
It was in USA Today. Like, you think they would do some actual studies, but Connecticut was Bulldog. And then Colorado.
That I believe, by the way. That one I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
In Connecticut?
Yeah, my family came from Connecticut. I would believe bulldog. That kind of matches the people there. So
Colorado, Maryland,
send your hate mail to Jennifer at
Massachusetts,
horseradionetwork.com.
Nevada, New Jersey, New Mexico, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma,
Oh, what's up?
Tennessee, and that was it. All of those states I just mentioned, their most popular dog. What do you think?
Oh, now I'm going to think it's like a border collie.
German Shepherd.
Really?
German Shepherd. Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, I'm like I said, did they go to like a dog agility trial? They're like, what state do you live in? And what do you like? Now, Delaware had the kind of notable ones. Delaware was Boston Terrier. Hawaii, Burmese Mountain Dog.
Huh.
Why? That's not a popular dog in Hawaii. I mean, it can't be. It's too hot. Crazy. Lab, Idaho was a lab. Indiana, Iowa, Burmese Mountain Dog. Lab in Louisiana. And then lab in Massachusetts. German Shepherd in Michigan. Mississippi was the Bulldog. Missouri was the Aussie and the Bulldog. Australian Shepherd and lab in Montana. Nebraska was lab. Nevada was German Shepherd. Let's see, any other notable? No, it's pretty much those three breeds: Bernese Mountain Dog, Bulldogs, Labradors, and German Shepherds. Oh wait, West Virginia they sprinkled in the Boxer, and Wisconsin the Golden Retriever. I'm calling garbage.
I'm trying to figure out if that also matches there's just more of those dogs in that. You know, what are the largest dog breeds?
I mean, is it like because there's uncastrated males running around sprinkling their seed everywhere? And so
yeah, I mean,
everybody
mutts are going to be the
mix?
largest, I would think.
Then the same study, same article from USA Today. What are the top 10 favorite dog breeds in the United States? By the way, if you're listening to this and you live in Hawaii or California,
yeah, I would think
I
it's
would
gonna be
like
the same.
you just start sprinkling photos of Bernese Mountain Dogs to my phone because I'm just not buying it. But the popular top 10, here's a shocker: Australian Shepherds, German Shepherds, Bulldogs, Labrador Retrievers, and Burmese Mountain Dogs.
There you go.
Then it
How
rounds
many
out with-
Burmese Mountain Dogs have you seen?
I've seen probably 2 in my life. And I lived in Georgia. Let's see, Beagle, Golden Retriever, Boston Terrier, Boxer, Shih Tzu, Dachshund, and Siberian Husky. Those round out the second 5.
Well, it's interesting that you found that because I had also found an article called The 40 of the Dog Breeds That Make the Greatest Pets. And let's see if it matches your list there, okay?
Well, just so you know, the least popular dog breed in the United States is the Havanese. Okay. I think it's a little fluffy thing.
Okay. Well, here's the ones that make the best pets according to Country Living magazine. 10 is the Borzoi. It's kind of a relative of the greyhound. Alaskan Malamute is Malamute is number 9, which you would think would be the most popular dog in Alaska.
That's listed as one of the best pets?
Yes. 8 is American English Coonhound. Oh, I can't handle the noise. Number 7 is the This must have been done by the Sighthound Association. Number 7 is the Afghan.
Never seen one in real life.
Number 6 is the Otterhound.
Never seen one in real life.
Now, again, they're saying these are the best dogs to own. Number 5 is the Greater Swiss Mountain Dog. Again, not seen a lot of those. One. Number 4, you would suspect Labrador Retriever. You know, that's got to be. Number 3 is German Shepherd.
Okay.
Number 2, Golden Retriever, which is the most popular dog in America always for the last 10 years. And then number 1 is the Airedale Terrier, which I don't know if I've ever met.
These people, I'm going to conduct my own study. I'm going to cold call people across the country.
Well, you know what?
Let's use our network here as a study. I'm going to make a post on the Auditor Facebook page, or send me an email, Jamie at Horse Radio Network, put dog in the subject.
We'll just do a poll. We'll do a poll in the auditor room.
What state do you live in, and what kind of dog do you have? I want to know.
There we go.
This is science, Glenn. We're creating our own science.
We're creating our own study. Do you know who else does science? And that's Cosequin.
Yes, they do. Cosequin ASU joint and hoof pellets contain quality ingredients to support joint and hoof health and leave out the fillers, molasses, and alfalfa, all while delivering the taste horses love. The colors of their ingredients shine through for a difference you can see. Visit CosequinEquine.com.
I got an email the other day that one of our listeners said, I've listened to you for the entire length of your podcast, Horses, this one. And she said, over the last 2 months, your transitions have been amazing. I really have been kicking up my transitions.
Did you just talk about that email to tell yourself that you did a great job with that one?
I did a great job. I did. Yes. That's why.
I did great.
I did that. That's exactly why I did that email.
It was good, actually. By the way.
I've been pretty good at my transitions lately. I've been working on that. Hey, we do study show every month. And what that is, for people who don't know, is I take a look at the studies that have happened over the past month.
Usually month.
Yeah. And we take a look and we kind of make fun of them because, people spend a lot of money on these studies and there's stuff that we know anyway. And what are the couple things that comes up every month, the topics that come up every month? What's number one?
I would say coffee, sleep, wine.
Coffee, alcohol, and diet. Those three things come up.
Yeah.
So then what I thought I would do is do a twist for this January one. I thought I would take a look at all of 2023 for those specific categories. I have not been drinking the whiskey, I'll have you know. I have not even opened it yet. Coffee is, of course, one that is top on the list. So here are some, and I had to pick. There were hundreds of studies on coffee in 2023. And if you remember right, years ago when we did this, coffee was evil. Coffee would kill you. Every study was how bad coffee was. Mm-hmm. Literally every study. And it was like for a long time that we did studies show coffee was going to kill you. Do you drink coffee anymore?
I do.
Yeah. Okay. How many cups a day?
I drink 1 cup every morning.
Okay. Jennifer has 1 or 2 cups too. She doesn't have much. But we both know people who have like 8 cups a day, right?
Yeah, I do. I'm married to him. Go ahead.
Oh, really? Does he?
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm kind of glad he does. He flies an airplane with people in it. So
exactly.
I'm kind of glad he does. So these are the random studies I just picked. And see how different this is from years ago. Studies show coffee may aid to the prevention of Parkinson's disease. Pour yourself a second cup. Research shows coffee provides health benefits. Coffee consumption is associated with reduced fragility, or frailty, actually, later in life. What is fragility? Is that close to frailty? I don't know.
Is it like where your bones
just even a word?
Break?
Drinking coffee is linked to weight loss, unless you use sweetener. The benefit, do you, by the way, milk, sugar, anything, just black?
I drink coffee and I put a little bit of milk in it, no sugar, and I love when I go to a coffee shop and I'm like, can I just get a latte? And they're like, what flavor? Coffee flavor.
Jennifer has the same problem.
Coffee flavor.
And she asked for cream, and they always put like a little tiny bit, and she likes a lot of cream. So the benefits of drinking coffee daily, from increased life expectancy to weight loss.
What on earth? Like coffee was causing hypertension and nervousness and not letting you sleep and making you poop, all the things.
Out of this list of 10, we'll find one negative one. How much coffee should older adults drink? More than you think. Research shows drinking 4 cups of coffee a day could help you stay strong in old age. Pre-marathon coffee, caffeine helps performance, studies find. Now they want you drinking coffee before you run a marathon.
No, don't do that because it makes you pee a lot. But just take a caffeine pill. We don't want you running and peeing. Nobody wants that. Caffeine
boost from that morning cup of coffee may be all in your mind. We talked about that one when it came out last year.
No. So Chad, that is not true. No, Chad makes this press coffee. You press it. And Electra, who was here for the clinic, she's a professional chef and like knows all the things about food. She's like, that is the strongest type of coffee. And I was like, thank God you told me that, because I would drink 1 cup and my heart would palpitate and my hands would shake. So here, what was that study again?
3 or more cups of coffee, or no, what it said is caffeine boost from the morning cup of coffee may be all in your mind, which is crap.
That's not
crap.
True. I promise.
No, any caffeine's going to make your heart race.
Heart races. Handshake.
Drinking 3. This is the only negative one I could find on pages of Google results. Drinking 3 or more cups of coffee daily increases your kidney risk. risk of kidney issues.
Okay.
It's the only one I could find. Years ago, we would not have had one positive one. That just shows you what crap all this is.
Yeah.
So diet. Diet's been all over the place over the years. I mean, it's been, this is good for you. And the same, in the next article is that's bad for you. So here's the diet thing. You're going to like this because vegans came out and vegetarians came out pretty well in these in the last year. Mediterranean diet may reduce the risk of dementia or Alzheimer's. I think we've heard that before.
I do love a good Mediterranean diet.
Ultra processed food raises risk of heart attack and stroke. I don't think there was any surprise there.
Are you serious? If I have ultra processed, like go through the drive-through every day, I might have some health ill effects.
Yes, apparently. And there were two studies that showed that. Keto diet may be associated with a higher risk of heart disease.
What's the keto one?
I can't remember.
I think it's like, is that the one where they eat like a caveman?
I can't remember. Look that one up a while. A healthier diet, get this, a healthier diet can slow your brain aging. No kidding. Eating healthy helps you health-wise. High blood pressure, reducing salt. This is the one that I went. They studied this again. My parents said this 50 years ago. If you have high blood pressure, reducing your salt in your diet may be as effective as drugs. No kidding.
Weird.
Again.
Okay, keto diet is high fat, low carb.
Oh, there you go. Higher risk of heart disease. That makes sense.
Yeah, they put, like, my mother-in-law went on the keto thing and was putting like oil in her coffee, like a teaspoon of MC. I don't
There's
remember
people
what it's
that really
called.
believe in that. Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to add fat to my diet ever.
So, being a vegetarian may be in the genes. I did look at that one, and what it says is it may be a genetic thing where certain vegetarians they feel bad eating meat, not feel bad emotionally, but physically. Mm-hmm. And they just turn off of meat because it makes them feel bad. So they're determining that a lot of vegetarians may just have an adverse reaction genetically to meat.
Well, let me tell you something right now.
You might be one of those.
Knowing my family and knowing my son, I can disprove that 100%. I mean, not even close. Like, I come from a meat and potatoes man, and my son is like, what is that? I don't want that. Give me the meat. And my husband, we had a birthday party last night, and he got the meat sweats from the giant steak his brother made. Good God. I was like, it looked like when the Flintstones are like doing the intro
slam.
and they pan that Brontosaurus rib cage. Yeah. That's what my husband ate last night.
Please tell me you had a cake with 50 candles.
Oh, you can't fit 50 on there. Come on. They had the 5 and the O.
This is the only one that surprised me in the whole list. The aspartame in Diet Coke probably isn't giving you cancer. How many studies have we shown that aspartame gives you cancer?
That is ridiculous.
Intermittent fasting and calorie counting both promote weight loss. Big surprise. You eat less with both of those and you're going to lose weight. Big
That's
surprise.
So weird.
Yes.
It's like the whole concept is like burn more calories than you consume, weird. I don't know.
A lot of those people who do the fasting thing and they swear by it. I don't think I could do it. I think I'd just be grouchy all the time.
I tried it for a little while. Chad got into it and then I tried it and I was like, no, you know what? I like a glass of, something before bed. And you can't have that. And then you have to drink black coffee in the morning.
Well,
I was
you eat
no.
lunch and then you can eat between noon and 3 or something like that.
Basically.
Yeah,
you're really
grouch
fun
you
if
all
you
morning
decide.
and grouch you all evening.
Yeah.
So there's 4 hours of the day you're actually happy. Poor nutrition contributes to poor mental health. No kidding. Or maybe poor mental health contributes to poor nutrition. I think that one could go both ways there.
I just spent, Glenn, a week in Palatka, Florida. Do you know how much food and health there is in a town called Palatka, Florida?
We've camped in Palatka, so we know Palatka very well. And Palatka is redneck Florida for sure.
I was like, okay, so...
did you find anything to eat anywhere in Palatka?
I ate pizza for 4 of the 6 days for dinner because there was nothing for a vegetarian.
Do the stores there even have vegetables?
I finally, at the last day, I found a Firehouse Subs, and I was like, "Oh my God!" Because my brother, there's no cooking or there's no pots and pans. There's no way to exist besides going out to to get food. And they were at the Longhorn Steakhouse and I was at the hospital with my mom and they're like, what would you like? And I'm like, nothing. And I looked at the menu and they had mac and cheese. And I was like, oh, just bring me some mac and cheese. And they bring the mac and cheese. And do you know what is in the mac and cheese at Longhorn Steakhouse?
Oh, it's probably ham or something.
Bacon.
Yep.
Took one bite. I was like,
You
oh,
can't-
that doesn't taste right.
We stopped at a barbecue place yesterday, and I actually said to Jennifer while we were eating, because I love sides at the barbecue place. I said, Jamie could not eat at a barbecue place because every side has meat of some kind in it.
There's a barbecue place near us that Chad and Lucas love to go, and they have baked potatoes. And I was like, I'll get a baked potato. And I'm watching them chopping the meat with this giant cleaver. And then they bring the baked potato over and they take that same meat cleaver and just chop the potato. I was like, never mind.
Well, they figure you're in a meat place. Why are you even eating there?
Don't cut. Now I'll go, I would like a baked potato, but don't cut it open.
All right, let's get to everybody's favorite topic, alcohol.
Oh,
So years ago, this is the same as coffee. We have gone so up and down on alcohol consumption over the years. It's good for you. It's bad for you. It's good for you. It's bad for you. This has been such a change over the years. And this year, it has a theme. Even a little alcohol can harm your health. Moderate drinking may shorten your life. Modern drinking isn't good for your health. Having a drink or two a day is not healthy. Routine drinking of alcohol raises blood pressure. Alcohol consumption increases risks for those over 60. Now, this is the one exception. We've gotten a couple with, remember, red wine's always been up and down too, but mostly red wine's good for you in moderation, right?
yeah.
Well, here's one good one that came out last year. Red wine is good for your sexual health. Well,
Yeah, I
yeah,
would
when you
go
get
with
a
that.
little tipsy, I think any alcohol is good for your sexual health.
Drinking is good for your libido.
A glass of wine a day could keep, frailty away as we age. Red wines show promise in boosting vascular function. Cheap red wine is less likely to give you a headache. Isn't that the exact opposite of what we always thought?
Yeah, I've never heard that.
Yeah, like Boone's Farm red wine's not going to give you a headache. So here, you want to hear that? I actually did look at this study, and as you know,
Is
I don't.
Boone's Farm wine? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I was thinking more $2 chuck at Trader
It's kind of
Joe's.
like Boone's Farm's kind of like Kool-Aid with that's got some alcohol in it.
I don't think there's a grape in Boone's Farm. I'm going to look up the ingredients of Boone's Farm. I think it's corn syrup.
I learned to drink on Boone's Farm. Because
We all did.
$1.50 a
Strawberry
bottle.
Hill. Strawberry Hill, baby.
That's right. You want to hear 5 of the healthiest alcoholic drinks?
Sure.
What do you think?
Okay,
Yes.
here's the ingredients for Boone's Farm. Carbonated water,
Really?
dextrose, fructose, natural flavors, another kind of natural flavor, potassium citrate, potassium sorbate,
Where the hell did the alcohol come
sorbitol.
from?
It says, apple wine.
They put apple wine in the strawberry wine and just flavor it?
That's the Hawaiian apple flavored wine ingredients. How much alcohol is in?
4%?
Let's see.
2%?
No, yeah, it's alcohol is 7.5% by volume for Strawberry Hill for Boone's Farm.
Wow. That's higher than I thought. I do know that you can feel a little tipsy after you drink the whole bottle.
I was going to say, you don't drink a glass, you do the bottle.
Because it tastes like Kool-Aid. All right. You wanted to guess for the 5 healthiest alcoholic drinks? And you probably know number 1 right off
Is
the
it
bat.
like a drink or a
Types
like a
of
mix?
alcohol.
Okay, the healthiest one is probably...
That's what we just talked about. It's
Okay, wine.
red wine. Yep, red.
Yeah.
They never mention white wine as being healthy for you. So red wine's number 1 on the list. You're going to be
I'm
surprised
gonna
at
keep
number
guessing.
2.
Number 2 is vodka.
Vodka's number 3.
Wishful
Yes.
thinking. See, there you go. Made it happen.
What's the one that causes people the most trouble?
Oh, tequila.
Number 2 on the list of the healthiest alcoholic
No
drinks. Unless you die in
way.
front of a truck leaving the bar.
God.
It's like,
Chad went to
or
what's
fall
the name
off
of
when
the
you're
town?
dancing on the bar.
Chad went to Oaxaca. It's if you spell it's in Mexico and it's Oxcaco, Oaxaca or something. Oaxaca. And he brought me back a bottle of tequila from this town that's made in this town. It's like very expensive tequila that it's called mezcal. He brought it back and he's like, I got you this from the town. It's amazing. And he poured me a glass, like a little, taster. I about died. I was like, I mean, you might as well you could have lit my breath on fire. And he, oh God. So yeah, no, I'm not going to say
Apparently
that.
it's healthy for you.
Yeah, it'll clean out your system. You vomit everywhere. Everything is gone. It's like fasting.
Exactly.
Helps you fast.
If you have it while you're fasting, it's even better.
Yeah.
So number 5 was light beer. 4 was stout. 3 was vodka. 2 was tequila. And number 1 was red wine.
Okay, let me write this down.
By the way, they give tequila. This is the reason they give tequila as a healthy drink. According to experts, tequila can increase calcium absorption and improve bone health. It's low in calories, 90, because you can't drink that much of it. It's low in calories and sugar, and it's also an easy drink for our bodies to metabolize. I'd say some bodies to metabolize.
Let me just drop a little nugget in here.
Yeah.
This does not count if you're drinking it in a margarita. The margarita is not low in calories, not low in sugar.
Yes. That's true.
You got to drink it straight like they do in Oaxaca, and it's terrible.
Well, there you go. There's my study show, the most common ones for 2023. And I think once again, we can determine that we waste a lot of money on studies that just contradict each other and you don't know what to believe anyway.
That's okay. Most popular dog breeds was a total sham too. So
we just had a bunch of sham studies today. That's all we've done. Well, Purina is not a sham, and your horse...
Oh my God, you're just nailing it.
Your horse has unique feed needs, and Purina has you covered from breeding and growing.
Studies show that Purina has you covered. There you go.
From breeding to senior horses, from performance horses to easy keepers and everything in between, Purina has an extensive portfolio of research-backed options for your horse. There's no shortcut for quality nutrition. Cheaper isn't cheaper if it doesn't work. Put Purina's research to the test. Find optimal nutrition at any level at your local Purina dealer or visit purinamills.com to learn more. And thank you to Purina for their continued support. Do we have any first world problems?
We might have one or two.
It's time for the weekly look at your equestrian first world problems. This ought to be good.
It's always good because it's honest and people share all the drama that is going on in their life with us. And if you have an equestrian first world problem, I usually put up a post on Facebook on the auditor's Facebook page on Sunday. And I say, what's going on? Please share. It's very serious. And people do. And if you want to participate in this, Glenn, how do they become an auditor?
Just go to horsesinthemorning.com and click on the auditor banner. For as little as $3 a month, you too can join that group.
That's right. And we're going to start with, I mean, this is making lemons out of lemonade, I guess, for Ellen. She's like, there's a snowstorm and the power is out. Oh, wait, power just came back on. Back to Netflix.
Yeah, there's some wicked weather going across the country. I guess you got it already.
Oh my gosh. Apparently the panhandle of Oklahoma, which is the little, arm sticks out, they're getting 6 inches of snow right now. But we're just getting
conditions in places, I guess. And
tremendous rain. I mean, I'm glad I rode all my horses yesterday because I'm not going to sit on them again for another month.
And then I guess the South is up for tornadoes today, so be careful down there.
Oh, no. Well, I guess it is, January. It's about time for winter to start somewhere.
Did you see that Fort Lauderdale had a tornado?
No, I did not. Oh,
yeah,
my
we
gosh.
had wicked weather over the weekend, and right down from the hotel we stayed at just a couple of weeks ago before the cruise, tornado went right down the end of the main street, went across, took out some boats in the marina, and then went across and took out a couple of roofs across the marina. And they had great video of it. I mean, people had video of it because the hotels are high there, so you had a good shot. But yeah, that's very rare in Fort Lauderdale.
That is rare. See, you get it anywhere, people. It's not just me in Oklahoma and what they call Tornado Alley. It's fine. Ariel says, my dressage instructor is coming next weekend, which means I'm so excited. But that also means I'm going to have so many things to work on. It's like we pay them to tell us how terrible we are and how much better we need to be. And then we're like, oh, why did we pay
spend
for
months
that?
stressing about what they said.
Exactly. Julie says, I have a fox hunt coming up and I don't know which of my 2 horses to take. Should I take my dependable steady Eddie pony or give my newly adopted off the track standardbred more experience? Decisions. I'm so sorry.
How hard do you want to work that day?
I mean, I think that would be a game time decision, really.
And what is in your flask, Julie? Do you have tequila? Do you have light beer? What's in your flask? We want to know.
Hillary said, I had surgery and I can't lift more than a gallon of milk. And so I asked my husband to bring my cross-country saddle into my office so I could clean it. And as he was coming in, I told him to watch the door so you don't scuff the cantle. And then he promptly smacks the door, scrapes the cantle. I can't even be annoyed because he was like taking care of me and think he was doing nice, but I'm going to save Leah's for last.
We're guilty. All of us are guilty at one time or another of doing those things because we don't know and we don't care.
Nancy says, I have to try yet another saddle to see if I can find one that doesn't slide forward onto my mare's shoulder. And this one, like the other 2 that were also professionally fit, cost more than I paid for the mare. Now, I had my training level horse Jet that I got for $400. I adopted him from the sheriff's department. Okay, Nancy. And I was in a lesson with Barb Crabo and she's like, you have to get this Devico saddle for him. This. And I was like, Barb, I paid $400 for the horse. That saddle's $2,000. She goes, Jamie, you don't ride him like a $400 horse. I was like, sold! Give me the saddle.
Did it fit?
Yeah, of course. Okay. We went on to victory and glory. Tracy said, I went to
Jamie's
catch my
shortlisted for the Olympics this year.
Yeah, right. I didn't die. So there was that. That was a tough horse. Tracy said, I went to catch my mare for a lesson and I was almost late as my 2-year-old also wants to go and keeps pushing her head into the halter. Yeah, I'm trying not to get kicked.
Yeah, we all know how bad that is.
Sharon says it's literally freezing to start out in the mornings, but it gets up to 50s later in the day. And I can't figure out what outfits I should wear to work with my horses. Feel that way. Feel that way, girl. Lisa said, I'm so excited because I'm doing a certified equine sports bodywork course and I'll be able to help all the ponies and I'll be FEI registered. But I have to learn all the anatomy in working form and in Latin.
Really?
Oh, why?
Yeah, why?
Who's going to test your knowledge?
Language. Don't send your hate mail to Jennifer at Horse Radio.
Lucas takes Latin at school,
Really?
actually. Everybody does.
Really?
Yes.
He has to be the only school left that it's mandatory to take Latin.
I'm like,
is it
why?
Catholic?
No.
No?
No. Karen says minus temps last night and tonight. Oh, minus temps last night and tonight. And apparently I didn't drain my hose well enough. So I have to carry 5 gallons of buckets of water to my heated water troughs. That is a first world problem.
We've all done that too, and it just sucks.
No. I like take them and like.
And the one that's frozen is not the one closest to the barn.
No, of course not.
No.
Elizabeth said, I recently got a spectacular weather day at the barn. Since my horse rides or drives, I had to make the decision on how I would enjoy him that day. Should I harness him up or saddle him up? I was so conflicted. Patty says, I keep my good tack and my saddle pads in our guest room closet. And I have so much now that I need another closet. Or... never mind. I'm not going to say it. This stuff's what Glenn would say, which is like have less nice stuff. But I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I would say have your husband, John, build you another closet.
See, that's what I thought you were going to say.
I mean, I had to be practical for a second, but then I got to be real. Got to be me. Jen says her horse, Roharan, is super healthy and he looks great, but he's put on so much muscle that my dressage and my Baroque saddles don't fit him anymore.
There's an easy way to solve that problem. Just give him a month off.
It's January, for God's sake. You know,
right.
ride him.
This is what the winter's for. It's to let him get back to fat and shabby so your saddles fit again.
So your saddles fit again. By the way, she adopted him from Horse and Hound Rescue.
Oh, did she?
Yay.
Wow. And he's got muscle now. Wow. Cool.
And he's looking great.
Yeah.
And then finally, our last one, Leah. I cry for you, Leah. My brother side cried for you. I got a brand new Bluetooth speaker for Christmas that I can use at the barn and listen to music while I ride. But my indoor is so big that it loses connection with my phone when I'm at the far end.
Do you want to kill her right now? Do you want to kill her?
I will punch you in the throat. Out of utter jealousy.
So
my indoor arena is so big, my Bluetooth doesn't give me to get all the way to the other end. Oh my God.
What's the one thing I heard from Jamie when she visited?
I want to go see the indoor.
Indoor at least 2 or 3 times. She's still dreaming and fantasizing about. Do you still get on the internet every day and look at indoors?
I'm just waiting for the economy to crash so I can pay for one. I'm saving money. Hoarding gold.
We have a new series coming up. You don't even know this. Is your Barnes & Morton, right?
Yes.
We have a new series coming up by Morton Buildings and what to do when you build your new barn. And one of the segments is on building an indoor. You'll have to listen to that one.
Oh, I love it.
Now, they don't tell you how to pay for it. That's the one thing. That's not included in the series.
I love my Morton barns so much. I'm excited that they're going to be doing some more stuff. I do need a clip because Miles decided to kick one of the little clips and break it. So maybe I can get a phone number.
Okay. How are the stalls hanging up with the kicking, by the way?
Oh, no, they're awesome. So Morton, what's awesome about Morton Barn is that there is no surface that the horse can chew on. Like along the top of the stalls, everything is covered in a metal. But Miles, not that he's fat, Glenn, he's just a little fluffy, decided to roll a little close to the wall. And there's a little clip that secures the door. So the door closes, but then there's the extra little hook and latch thing. And he he might have broken that in his struggle to get himself up. He's fine. He's fine, by the way. He's fine.
I want to know why horses roll. They have a big stall or not, whatever. But even outside, our horses probably have an acre, right? They roll next to the fence. Why?
It's got to be predator. They don't want to expose their belly with, I don't know. It's stupid.
Same in the stalls. It's couldn't you roll in the middle? No.
Yeah.
No, we have to roll against the wall.
Yeah.
And then try and roll over.
Good times.
I don't know. Horses are always trying to kill themselves.
Yep.
Well, on that note, we're going to call it a day. I hope we didn't bore you too much today. We hopefully, this guest, I really wanted to talk to this guest today. You missed a good one on Friday, by the way.
I heard it was really awesome.
Yeah.
I told you.
I'm sorry you weren't here for that one. I know you had obligations, but the lady was fascinating. What she's doing with the thoroughbreds is really, the turnout and everything is really cool. We're going to get her back. They're doing real studies this year on the differences of horses turned out and brought in and fussed with and all of that. But we're going to get her back in a year's time to go over what the studies have showed.
That's so cool. Yeah, I might actually go back and listen to one of the episodes here.
Yeah,
I heard about
listen to that segment with her. It was fascinating.
Hey, can we end on something really positive?
Yeah, go ahead.
We have a minute. I found this thing for the top 10 prettiest horses, and I wanted to go over it because
it's list day here. That's what I need to title this show.
I know, it's list day. I did not appreciate the dog study. So I want to say that I really appreciate the list of the top 10 prettiest horses.
Let me guess, you have most of them.
Maybe. I have number 1, which of course is the Andalusian. It's the prettiest horse. I don't care how
that's one we could probably all agree with.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Now, number 2 is the Haflinger.
Really?
Cute pony with the flaxen mane and tail.
I can say the flaxen mane and tail got that one in number 2. Yeah.
And it depends on if you're into it or not. But man, number 3.
Before you go to number 3, when we lived in Lancaster County, the Amish have gone through cycles of what they breed. And they breed whatever they think they can sell for a lot of money.
Okay.
So, they don't just do dogs, they did horses too. So when we would go every year to the draft horse auction, they would have an adjoining auction because Amish were really into breeding Haflingers back then. And we went to the draft horse auction where I bought my one Percheron, and they must have had 250 Haflingers in stalls in there. And let me tell you what, how they told any of them apart, I have no idea.
Yeah.
They all look alike. But it was really cool to see all those ponies in one place.
I agree. Okay. Let's see the next one. Top 10 prettiest horses in the world. Number 3, Arabian. There are some super pretty Arabians, but then there's ones that are made to look like Disney horses, and they're kind of weird.
They got too dishy.
Number 4, I agree with the Frisian. Oh,
That's the most popular horse in TV and movies, that's for sure.
Yeah, Andalusians and Frisians. Number 5 is now the rest are kind of like, whether you think so or not. The Appaloosa.
Yeah.
They have the
Yeah, because
Appaloosa.
those spots give them a unique look. So,
Yeah. I remember the first time it was a friend that saw an Appaloosa. They were like, "Oh my God, have you ever seen a horse that looks like this ever?" I'm like, that's a
They're
breed.
the Dalmatians of horses.
It's just a breed. The Marwari horse is number 6. Those are the horses in India that my friend has them in India, and their ears like curve around and touch.
Yeah. I think we talked about them in the past.
They're so cool. We should have him on to talk about them. I think he breeds and trains them.
Well, that'd be good.
The Akultiki, the golden Akultiki. I don't know if I ever say it right, but that's how I say
How many
it.
times have we talked about that breed over the years? Tons, for some
Tons.
reason. Yeah.
Because they have that like reflective hair or something.
They're unique.
Now, number 8 on their list, I did not know what it was, a Soraya Mustang. And so I looked up Soraya Mustang, and a Soraya is a horse in the Iberian Peninsula. So maybe it's like when the Spanish conquistadors brought the Soraya over here and they're now Mustangs. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. Number 9 was the chocolate silver dapple.
What?
It's just it's not a breed. They just, it's going downhill. The list. It started strong. And then number 10, the Knobstrooper.
Which we've talked about a couple times. We've had breeders on the show about that. Yeah. Well, you know what?
They're
I won't
cool
argue with
horses.
this list.
You know what? A list is but it doesn't matter because number 1 was the Andalusian, and they're so right.
Andalusians and Frisians. It's got to the point now, anytime we watch a TV show that has horses in it, especially period dramas, and they're not Frisians, we say out loud, not Frisian. Every
Big
time
Winnie, not Frisian.
every time we see a horse now, we don't care what it is, it's just not Frisian.
Yeah.
Well, auditors, hang on. We'll chat with you for a little bit, although I felt like we've chatted enough today, but we'll hang out for a minute or two. Hang on, auditors. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We have a full week of shows for you this week. We have the endurance episode tomorrow. Jennifer's going to hang out with Karen and do that. And then Jamie and I are here Wednesday and Friday, and we have the NRHA episode for you on Thursday. So we've got a full boat for you this week. We look forward to it.
All right, everybody. Spay, Duder, Geld. It's a list day because our guest didn't show up. We gotta... Yeah.
I know what the title is.
Happy birthday, Chad.